Telegraph.
So Caspar, you're live and you're showing the wine into the camera.
Oh my!
Welcome everyone. Welcome to Caspar's first Facebook Live and to the second episode of Safari Soul with Hideaways. Thank you so much for joining us today. The second episode, we welcome Caspar. The idea of Safari Soul was born on a Saturday morning when I caught up with an industry friend on a rainy Saturday. And we had such a good laugh just sharing where we are at that I decided how beautiful would it be to bring these industry friends, these colleagues, these partners onto this platform and see where we are at, and to just share stories, what we've been up to, and how we carry on in these times. So today I'm really excited to welcome Caspar. At the beginning of this, when we were backstage, I said to Caspar, so do you mind, how would you like me to introduce you? Do you mind if I just share how we met? And he's like, well, I can't remember. And so Caspar and I met in 2005 at ITB in Berlin. And I actually met him on the dance floor when he was dancing with his business partner and partner, Katja. And so Caspar, your family has lived for more than 300 years in South Africa, I see, but you have lived in Germany for quite a while, are the founder or co-founder owner of Venter Tours. Welcome to today's episode, and I'm gonna dive straight in today. What made you happy today, and then tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, first of all, thanks very much, Katja, for having me. I'm honored that you had asked me to join you on this live Facebook chat. It is one of my first, so I'll just go with the flow and answer what I can, and we'll have a good chat. So your question, and I just saw, oh, there's someone are we allowed to say this? I just saw my sister pop on live from Pa. So we're talking about South Africa. Yes, I'm 9th generation South African. So my family's been in South Africa for well over 300 years, and but I've been living in Germany for 19 years now already, and started Venter Tours way back in 2003, in August of 2003. It was my first official ITB in Berlin. And as you had mentioned, 2 years later, you and I had met on the dance floor. So, and then you had asked me what has made me happy today, or are you just saying in general?
So I stop asking how are you, because it's such a convoluted question. So I'll ask a little bit more precisely, what's made you happy today?
Yeah. Well, of course, I've been so excited logging on with you at 12:15, and then this live chat. That's why I'm excited and I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy in general because we work in the tourism industry, despite the fact that we're going through quite a bit of a crisis. I think we can't deny that at all. But hey, we're tough and resilient, and as an African, you learn to be tough. Hey, but they do say that Germans have thick skin, and so oh well, okay. Sorry, Katja. Yes, you've got quite a thin skin, but there are exceptions, But no, I'm happy. We're healthy, and the company is still surviving. I've got a great team behind me, and despite the fact that 8 of them haven't been working since March, yeah.
So, Caspar, thank you so much, and I'm glad you were as excited as me about this chat today. And so, tell me, how long has Venter Tours been around for? And I don't want to obviously focus too much on on COVID and where we are today. But I think as you being my first guest here, that actually comes from Europe, and Europe being a lot of our other African businesses source markets. I would like to talk a little bit about, tell me a bit about your business, but then also tell me where you at, where's Germany at? What's happening on the ground? And I'm going to ask a few questions as you go along, but I'm also interested in, what challenges are you truly facing? I mean, I hear it from obviously other business, from other travel partners, but what are you facing right now? What government challenges are you facing? Where you at? But yeah.
Okay. Well, if I start from the beginning, that would be August 2003, when I started it with my ex-partner, if you like, my ex-wife, Katja, and myself, in 2003, in a little 49 square meter building. And it was sort of word of mouth. What was tourism for me in 2003? It was something very new, apart from me traveling quite a bit. I hadn't studied tourism. In any case, 17 years later, we've grown this company with a great team of 16 employees, and we've learned so much over the years and made great partnerships and friends in various countries in Africa, amongst the likes of Janeman and Hideaways and like yourself. And it's only through great partnerships and a strong team that we've been able to build this company where it is today. The hardships, yes, the current state, in Germany, especially for us as a tour operator, as a licensed tour operator, there are some legal issues, or many legal issues that we battle with, that we've been battling with since mid-March. And one of the key struggles that we've had is something called the Pauschalreiserecht, which is like it's a general travel law that states, it's paragraph 651 in the BGB, Bundesgesetz, Grundbuch. Anyway, and which states that in a case that clients can't travel due to a pandemic, which was spoken out on mid-March, that they don't have to travel, and that they are allowed their full payment, whether it was a prepayment or the full or the rest payment. They're allowed to claim that back, and within 14 days we have to refund them, despite the fact that we've already paid airline companies, issued their flights, paid partners, and things like that. So that's one of the big issues that we've been challenging or been challenged with. And of course, with the generalization, the German government saying, in general, a Pauschalreisewarnung, which is a general travel warning for 160 countries, when they came out, instead of, when they just a month ago, when they said, well, you can travel within Europe again, and then just generally saying that there's a travel ban on so many other countries. And ourselves, Venter Tours, together with many other African specialists here in Germany, we've really come together as in close partnership, standing together and working through these crises. I'd gladly mention a few of them because we've worked
Please
very well together.
Really do. Feel free.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in a corona group, if you like, and there are 9 African specialists amongst Elangeni, Aquaba Africa. We have Yakana Tours. Just got to think of all of them. Dirk Brunner from Africa Tours Individual.
Yeah.
We have oh my goodness, which have I not meant? We're 9 of them. In fact, I did write some of the partners down. Of course, Svenja and Marco from Outback Africa. We have Caribou Safaris, Jessica Sears, Ikana I'd mentioned, Uhambu, and Impala Tours, and others. And then there are larger operators as well, in the likes of Chameleon Reise. And we've all stood together as a team and trying to battle this these negotiations, you know, and with protests throughout Germany, and yeah, but we've grown together, especially also to try and explain to our clients what the real situation is with it.
So I think we
partners within Africa are actually experiencing.
Yeah. So Caspar, I really must commend you on the collaboration that I've also seen digitally with the German operators, and yes, especially, I mean, I see Aquaba is very, very active over there, but it's great to see that you are also fighting back, because your travel laws and regulations obviously impacting us here on the ground immensely. We do, you know, as you know, running lodges, looking after wilderness areas, conservation projects cost so much money. There's cash flow that's running in order just to look after nature. So what's impacting and bleeding you in Germany is a direct effect, comes directly down the chain to us. So it's been a really tricky time, and I appreciate and commend you for searching and seeking those partnerships and those collaborations. And if any of our listeners here have anything to say about these collaborations, or have any other ideas what one can collaborate on in order to move this wheel forward, please mention it in the comments or pop us an email. It is greatly appreciated, because we do know together we are a lot stronger to come through these crises. However, I do want to move on to some more exciting stuff, and I know I mentioned the word cow safari a lot in the beginning, and we'll get there. But talk to me about how you adapted. Of course, I'm sure in the beginning you got all your clients back, but back into Germany, everyone was still traveling. I guess you then focused on rebooking your clients. But what else have you done to adapt? And then talk to me about the cow safari.
Okay. Yeah. Good question. And things like these, you know, in desperate times, you have to take desperate measures. And but instead of just, well, let me start here. The 11th of April, we had our last clients flown out of Cape Town, which had extended their holiday by 3 weeks unwillingly, but they were very happy. And since then, yes, my team have been hard at work trying to explain the situation. We put emails out there and together with these other partners, and trying to convince our clients, guys, don't cancel, please postpone. You know, do your trip. At that stage, remember, in March, April, none of us could have foreseen that this is going to continue as far possibly as it has. And as the time went on, we're all learning, okay, it's going to take longer than what we had expected. So, and since mid-March, 8 of my people have been on Kurzarbeit, if you want to translate that.
Short-time work.
So not working at all, and others part-time, but coming in so that we can rebook. And it's, you know, it's quite tough, just this negative work, instead of us being positive and fun and working out holidays and chatting with the clients about their holidays and having a good time. We're now trying to explain the situation and say, guys, how desperate the situation is, especially in Africa. And please, you know, the best thing you can do is trust in us. Your money is safe. That was a big thing. You know, people want to gather and hold on to what they have. That's part of the problem here in Germany as well. In any case, so they've been working very hard, you know, dealing with these clients, and it's more negativity, and you're dealing with hardships. And we said we have to do something. And my team, especially, between Katja and Jan and Mario and Tini, we had a bit of a brainstorm and said we've got to do something else. And if we can't send people on safari in Africa, well, hey, we live here in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, one of the 16 Bundesländer, and it's beautiful nature. Why don't we do something here? And it sort of, we played with this idea. The team they were very strong about it, and we got more into it and positive vibe. And we said, well, hey, we've got nothing to lose. And then we spoke about it, and then we had the local television team, NDR, who's done an article about us in a television show, or not a television show, a documentary, if you like, about our 15 years in the business, just 2 years ago. And they got heard of our thoughts, and didn't start off with just the cow safari. You know, we wanted to do something here in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, whether it be canoeing on one of the beautiful lakes here, or the rivers. You know, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern is the lake districts of Germany, if you like, and being out in nature. So, and then we got onto farming, and actually that you can take people to drive on these classic old-timer tractors, if you like, and then over the fields and the countryside. And and the cow safari came up. And then we had this camera team who were here, and we spoke about it. It wasn't the key element, definitely not. But out of that, it just took fire. And from there, we haven't really looked back. So the cow safari, after being presented here on NDR on television, then it was in Berlin, and then lo and behold, we managed to make the late night show, the Heute Show, and they had a clip of our cow safari, and since then, you know, it's just been going great.
So are you actually selling it, Caspar? I mean, are there, so explain it to me. Is it a day trip? Is it an overnight? What is it?
Okay. So yeah, there you can see, I hope the viewers can see some of these pictures. This was on a trip that I'd done together with Jan in my office, to make sure that we had the right style, and we want to put our own signature onto this as well. It's a morning trip. You can make it as long as you want, and you meet up on this farm. It's not far from us, about 45 minutes drive, and the person in the background is actually one of the owners there. And we've arranged that if you have more than 6 people, they take you on a carriage, horses, and you go through the fields, and he explains to you not only the cows, but of course these are milking cows. They have hairy cows and meat cows, if you like, you know, for consumption. Here we've got one lady, as she's licking her salts and minerals and things like that. And then he explains all of this as you go along, and you can get up close and personal. And you know, what I find great about this is that people can't travel now to Africa. Okay, we're not able to show you one of not only the big 5, but our pristine nature and wildlife, but you can enjoy it here. Many people from the cities, you know, you see the purple and white cow in a Milka chocolate bar, and kids think, okay, cows must be purple and white, you know. So it's very interesting, interactive with kids. We can do it. We incorporate it into a program of ours where we have a five night stay in the area, and that's one of the activities. And then you go out and with the farmer, and learn more about all the cows.
It is absolutely brilliant. I mean, just before this live chat, Garth, my business partner, actually asked me, so Katja, you guys are talking about cows and what? And he said to Vikesh, who's our logistics manager, so Vikesh, just so you know, so after this live chat, Katja's going to come and tell us we need to make space to get cows, and just prepare yourself. We might have to replace all our vehicles with cows. Anyway, so brilliant. And what I'm most interested in, Caspar, is how did that affect your team and your team morale? The reason why I'm asking is, chatting to my team and going every day. One has different Zoom calls, on now also some meetings face to face. And the biggest struggle that I can see is we are doing work which is a little bit fictitious. Like, we write about travel that is not happening right now. We talk about conservation that is happening on the ground, but we talk about future travel, and we take bookings, but they are future bookings, and often we don't even know. People ask, can I travel in November? And one doesn't know. So what you've done there, I think, was a great example to, obviously, to get cash flow and get income and create a product. But I think it was also a great example to involve your team and your people into actually creating something again that is that has an impact right now, right here. Can you speak a little bit into that?
Yeah. No, definitely. We've seen that, as I mentioned, just rebookings and having to do negative work, it was just tough on the team as well. And as we got into this, you could just see a change of heart and spirit, and just to say, guys, there's something else that we can keep on doing, and also offering our clients not only an alternative, I mean, for the time being at least, whilst you cannot travel. We want you to travel to Africa, most certainly. And you're going to in the future. We can't tell you when, but hey, let's do this. Take your family, still travel. You can't travel you couldn't travel in Europe then. I mean, now you can, but people are very cautious. But hey, travel in your own country, in Germany. Come to Mecklenburg. So, no, definitely for the team, it was a great thing, because it's a new positive input. Clients are saying, hey, they've seen it, we've posted it, they saw it on television. And they're saying, hey, that sounds great. We've been able to implement our own self-drive here in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. It's something not well known in Germany, the way we do it in Southern Africa. It's not traditional here, and we've put that together, and the team can be creative again, and definitely it's a good input, because it's positive energy. And with our clients, and the feedback has been phenomenal. To get back to the question where you asked, are people booking the cow safari? We have clients, good clients of ours, that travel quite regularly, can't travel, and said, listen, my wife, for instance, next week, my wife has a birthday, and I would love to be able to go out on one of your trips. So we've been offering either on a barge, like a little floss, a little,
like a little boat, like a little float,
like a little boat out, or various activities. But he said, no, the cow safari has been so interesting. He would love to do that. So, for next week, Saturday, I've got a group of 10 people, and they're going to join me on a cow safari, and we'll make a great day out of it. And what we've learned, and thanks to you guys and in the safari industry, with the Sundowner, and somewhere you just travel, and then there's a table waiting with some South African wine, and we'll have some cheese, and there's a place where I can actually order biltong and droros as well, and we'll do something like that, and we incorporate that because it's not known yet, and our clients love it, so we're excited about it, and that definitely did something for the morale for our team as well.
It's a great show of how to adapt, how to be resilient, and how to stay optimistic, and really find something that makes an impact, and that your clients also can relate to. So I commend you. You have done brilliant with that. So I think your sister here, is that right, Catherine? Is asking whether schools are contacting you. Very interesting question. I would like to know.
Yeah, that is a very interesting question, and Actually not, but hey, I think it's something that we can also do. The thing is, at the moment, the schools are supposed to open here, at least in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, on Monday, the 3rd of August. We have our doubts. We don't even know yet if the schools will open as normal. And people are, I must say, still hesitant, keeping social distances. So normally it's within a group, of 6 or 8 or 10 people, as friends. And I don't know if that would work, with schools and these activities. It's family outings, and I'm sure a school can do that too, and we'll be happy to help. So that's a good question. It's something we can look into. Thank you.
Yeah. Great. So, and then Caspar, just from our side, I am going to send you the bill for royalties then for the Sundowners ideas and the setting up the tables and all of that, right?
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Okay, fair. So Garth actually left a comment earlier, and I just wanted to get back to that briefly when we talked about Germans and traveling, and we obviously know the German travel market generally bounces back relatively quickly, and we all hope for that very soon. But any idea? I know this question you probably get asked on a daily basis. Can you look into the crystal ball? What do you see?
Yeah, what do I see? This crystal ball. I have one here. I have it here, and as murky as it is what I can tell you. Okay, that's So here's my crystal ball, and it's very, it's very blurry at the moment.
It's clear as mud. I get it.
So no, but thanks, Garth. That is a good question. I did see it come up, and as a matter of fact, just yesterday I had an interview with the FAW, which is another travel magazine here, and the question was formulated. In Germany, they have the travel restrictions at the moment until the 31st of August of this year, and these travel bans, if you like. And they wanted to know from me, what is my prediction? Would government continue, extend it, or are they going to be more relaxed? And I could only answer by saying I really hope to God that they will not be generalized and say there's a travel ban for all these countries. They have to be specific. They have to take the numbers. They have to say, well, you can't travel to Brazil at the moment because these are the facts, but you can travel to Namibia. You can travel to Zimbabwe. You can travel to Botswana. You can travel to Tanzania and Kenya. These people have put all these health measurements in place. And other countries, I don't want to leave any other country, in Africa or on other continents, out. But I do not know. We know what some of the countries in Africa would like to do and what the time plan is, but who really knows? We have the 28th of July today, and in the 15th of August, we might just get another bad message. It's one thing is clear: the virologists, the politicians, no one really knows. So unfortunately, we are now left. We are left in the hands of the people making political decisions, which is not always a good thing, unfortunately.
Okay. Then I have another crystal ball question for you. That actually my Kim, I call her my creative director. You have met her backstage there.
Sure.
Asked. And she says, okay, you're now introducing, I'm going back to your cow safari. So you're now introducing people to interact and learn more about animals that they actually might have never gotten an interest in. So she's asking, do you think the shift in experiences alters our expectations and perspective of a safari, and maybe interacting with other environments and species which we have not been particularly interested in? Is there maybe value in this in general?
And that's a very interesting question. I think that probably brings us to wild animals being habituated. I don't want to get into that, because we know and we've learned over the years that I don't want to go into the direction of petting, walking with lions, riding on elephants and all of that. We don't want that anymore. It's not right. We've learned. We thought 20 years ago there's no harm in it, but there is harm in it. And we know that, and we don't want to, we're not going there at all. But these are not, I mean, a cow is a domestic animal. It's also there. Now I have to also be careful because I'm sure that some of the viewers might be vegan or vegetarian and all of these things. So, but the fact of the matter is, we have to get our milk from somewhere, and or your cheese from somewhere that comes from milk, and we, whether it be goat's milk or cow's milk or whatever. So I think it's a form of education too. It's definitely an eye opener for many people that don't know nature, that don't travel on safari. Of course, we're most certainly not saying, hey, this is the new safari, on a cow safari. But at this stage, we can't offer much more, and I think it's great.
Will you keep it going when the travel bans lift? Will you keep selling it?
Yeah. Also, these questions we've also been asked, and most certainly, I mean, there's merit in it, in people traveling in their own country and learning about this. So most certainly we will. Obviously, our key goal is to get Europeans, our German clientele, German-speaking clientele, back to Africa. That's what we love doing. That's what we know how to do best, and that's our key goal. But if this, even with or without the pandemic, if this goes, we'll be happy to offer it. Who knows? There's a new line. One has to be creative and not just say, oh, let's wait and see, and possibly listen. You can wait all your life. The pies don't fall out of the sky. We know that. You have to make it. You've got to make these opportunities. The same as online stuff, online store, our new, and I don't want to do our own marketing, but we've put up a new online Venter Tours -online shop.de, where you can book activities, you can book a few South African things, but especially these activities, and face masks that we had made in Africa, thanks to a partnership with Elangeni, 400 face masks made by Zulu women in KwaZulu-Natal, which was also a job opportunity. And by doing that, what we had then done is our small contribution. We said €2, €2 from every mask sold, we donate to the Ranger Project, one of so many projects out there. This one by the Great Plains Foundation, but there are so many that we would like to try and support.
That is that is certainly really, really true, and it certainly, my mind is ticking. So you certainly have inspired me with this cow safari, and now that I also that you say how your travelers that used to travel to Africa with you are actually desperate to do something different or new or get out, and are actually taking this up. So my mind is ticking. I'm sure my team is already a little bit worried what's going to come to them next. And I guess if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap up this chat in the next 5 minutes. I do, however, have my last 3 final questions here for you, Caspar. And the first question is, if you were an ice cream, what flavor ice cream would you be?
I like that question. And please let me not just give you one simple answer. I like telling a story. As a kid, I always loved peppermint crisp. I love peppermint crisp, but I realize I'm not a peppermint crisp. I'm much more. I love peppermint crisp, but I feel if I were ice cream, I would be a chocolate double salted mixture. A caramel salted, something like that. Because I think I can be sweet, but I can be salty. So that's me, and I think that mixture is a great mixture.
Okay, then great answer. Next question, what advice would you give your 25-year-old self?
Yeah, what advice by 24? My eldest son Louis is now 19. So, and I think back, oh my goodness, when I was 19, what was I getting myself? What mischief was I getting myself into? I would say, but I've tried to live like that, but live every day as if it was the last day of your life. Um, take every opportunity. The doors will close, doors will open, but go for it. Don't give up. Continue. Um, yeah, I think just to get up and do it. But I've been trying to live, my life like that, and that's sort of how I feel where I am. Very happy and content, despite hardships. But if you can stand up after falling off that horse, that's the most important thing. So just keep on going. Yeah, and do it. Don't hold back. You've got to try everything. Even my son, 19 years old, he's got to try and learn these things. Many things our children and yourself you've got to learn it by doing it yourself. You can't just say, hey, don't reinvent the wheel. I know I've been through all of this. Okay. Is that too long an answer?
No, it's a great answer. And I'm sorry I'm getting distracted here on the screen, but the comments that come through on your ice cream choice are really interesting, and I might have to rein that question back in the next time. You can read them later. I would be I am blushing for you. The last question, the third question, I've altered it a little bit. I want to know from you, Caspar, what's the most courageous thing you've ever done?
Wow, what a question. For those listeners who want to just click away, just give me a moment. Courageous thing. So if you define courageous,
okay. I define courageous as something where you felt the fear, where you were scared, where you saw the fear and the risk, and you felt the fear, but you took a leap of faith and you did it anyway.
There are a few.
And the heart. Courageous comes from the heart. Heart. So acting on the heart.
Yeah. I think there are a few in my life. To have to pinpoint the most courageous thing, and I have to be honest because I think I'm an honest guy. Oh my goodness! I think courageous and oh my goodness, are the comments coming in already? Not yet. Yeah, I think being courageous is making decisions, hard decisions in life that I've made and that I've stuck to, and being able to conquer them. I mean, to have courage is to stand up to things, even though it's hard in your life. But if you believe in them yourself and you trust to them and you stand by them, despite what other people might tell you or say to you, or say, hey, how can you do that? But I think that's being courageous as well. So there's been a few in my life, and some in the past few years, but I'm standing by them, and I think that's courageous. Being as a 18-year-old boy, being a lifesaver in Claremont, having to save people's lives, is that courageous? That's being young and foolish, but yeah, okay, that can also be courageous, but I don't see that as a courageous thing to do. I think by making a decision, a heartfelt decision, either though it's hard sometimes, and standing by it and being positive and going on with that, I think that's courageous.
That's a great answer. Thank you, Caspar. I think the way that Ingram Casey is commenting here, he might have to be my next guest on these episodes. He definitely rated you swimming at the V&A waterfront at Everywhere Africa in Cape Town at sunrise is pretty courageous in his eyes. Ingram, courageous, hardcore. Let's have a debate about that, but we can do that next time. Caspar, is there anything else that you would like to part with? Maybe a sentence of encouragement to your industry peers or to people in Africa? Is there anything else that you felt we haven't covered you wanted to part with before we close off?
Yeah, no, thanks very much, Katja. It's been great talking to you. And sometimes, talk just gets, it's the time just flies, doesn't time just fly? But I think, and especially for us all in the tourism industry, I know it's hard, but it's much harder for you guys, our partners and our friends and family in Africa. We don't have to go into all those details. We realize, and I want you guys to know that we realize it's very tough for you. We have some parachute here in the German government that we can make use of financial supports, financial loans, if you like it, cheap money. And we know you guys are desperate to have our clients be sent to you again. And we are very, very eager. But guys, hold out. Hold out. We're all, I don't like that sentence, we're all in this together. That's just such a cliche. But rely on your partners, rely on your friends, be honest to each other. And if you need help, speak out. Perseverance, it's like a rubber band. I know, some of us can stretch only but that much. And then at some stage it snaps. Don't allow it to stretch. Just keep, playing with that rubber band and sharing your burdens with your mates. That just makes that rubber band so much thicker. One rubber band snaps easily. Maybe I'll end off with this. And one rubber band will snap easily. You put a second or a third or fourth or a fifth, and that rubber band, that's not going to break. So I think there's strength in that.
Great. Thanks, Caspar. I definitely will take that piece of advice, and you're very right. And you've done that so well as well by collaborating, as you said earlier, but then also bringing your team in to create this incredible cow safari. So watch this space. What hideaways will be launching next.
Great. Thanks so much, Katja, for having me, and greetings back to Cape Town, and take care of yourself.
Okay, and you. All right. Thanks to all of our listeners. Cheers, and please follow, like, or love us to receive further updates on this. Cheers, guys.